So the question for the seeker is, how do I get it? How do I get this non-dual understanding? How do I move from this place of not getting it to seeing that everything is already complete, that what I'm looking for is what I am. Right. So the message is always, you can't get it. You can't do anything. It is already the case. Whatever you're looking for, whatever I'm looking for, is just this. There's just what's here already. What's already found before the question even comes up. But there's always the question. So it's the question that's the issue. Not finding the answer to the question, it's the question itself. There isn't any answer. There isn't any problem that the question is trying to solve, or that the answer would have anything to offer to you. It's not about that. It's just, there's this question hanging in the middle of the room for the seeker, the me. I mean, the me is this seeking activity, this seeking energy, this looking for the answer. So, just to say again, there's no question in the sense of a problem and then there's something needed to answer the problem or to solve the problem or to provide some kind of understanding or some kind of information, some kind of experience that would set everything back on its, reset everything to the right condition. It's not about the condition. The condition is this. It's already this. Always. No matter what. And then there's just this question hanging here. So you can say that's the experience of me, is this reality of a question. Reality of me as a seeker of the answer in my life, in my experience, looking to this experience to change, essentially, in such a way that this question is no longer here. The question is looking to my experience to get rid of my question. Get rid of itself. Get rid of myself as a question. So the question comes in, what's the answer? So the message comes back, the non-dual speaker points to there isn't any question, there isn't any answer. There's just this, and this question is just this. Everything is just this. There's not going to be anything else. There's nothing to come around the corner to change anything. There only is just what is. And then this experience of me, which is looking like a question, feeling like a question, feeling like the story of a need to get the answer. And then again, the answer keeps coming back. There's just this. The question is already the answer. There's no answer beyond what's here. If the question is here, which it is for the me is the question. Again, whatever the me is experiencing, whatever the content of my life story in this moment, whatever things are going on, whatever thoughts are going on, whatever issues are popping up as, that define the quality of the question of the moment, it's completely irrelevant. It's just stuff. It's just like the weather showing up. None of that is important at all. It's all, the whole point is just this question, this energy of a question that seems to be hanging around and seems to be obstructing my experience. I mean, the guy's telling me that it's just this. Everything is just this. This experience is already just this. It's complete, it's whole, it's pure, it's everything. It's more pure than pure. It's everything that's being looked for is fully this. Every moment, everything. There's only this. There's nothing else. The question appears to be something else. The question actually is the idea of something else. That's division, that's separation. And that's what feels like a question. It's just separation. But the idea, the question is an idea of a question, and separation is an idea of separation. None of that has anything to do with what's actually here. It actually is just what is. It's just this, without a question, without a problem, without any separation or any experience. Experience is appearing as just this, whatever it is, but it's not implying anything. It's not implying another one, a me. It's not implying a question. It's not implying any kind of change that will become something into, it's not implying a story, in other words. It's not implying a movement from here to there. It's not telling a tale. It's just what it is. Always. And we don't know. There's no one here who knows. There's nothing to know. There's just what's appearing. Nothing to be made out of it, nothing to be done with it, nothing to be constructed. If there were something that could be done, something that could be built on top of this moment, on top of this just thisness that's here, well, that is the story. And that's why it seems like there's always things being built. The story is an imagination of things being added to just this. Commentary, elaboration, complication. So once you have that, you buy the idea, then you have a separate one who can get involved with all that, get involved with the story, be a story of me. And once that's going, it doesn't stop because the story is an endless loop of itself. Well, of course, what else would it be? There's only just this, and then there's this appearance of an imaginary story of some kind. But the story is imagining itself. It's not about anything, and it's not going anywhere. And it creates a world, but it doesn't create a real world. It doesn't actually create anything. It just appears to create. The appearance is made into a kind of pseudo-reality, just like a movie. And there's entertainment that goes on in that loop. And then there's the looking for the answer, looking for the way out of the loop. But the loop is its own creation. It's its own self. And who is the one in that loop? That one never showed up. There never was a one. There's just this. The creation of the story doesn't create a me. It doesn't create a person. It doesn't create anything. It doesn't create a world. It just creates its own story. It creates itself, you could say. And then the story of itself is, how do I get out of myself? How do I turn this off? How do I get out of the loop? Well, look, there's no loop here. This loopy experience never happened. It never, still not happening. There's this. This is filling up everything. There's no room for anything else. There's no room for an experiencer. There's no room for an experience. This isn't actually an experience. It appears as an experience. But it's not known. It's not happening.